I have a feeling things are going to get pretty rough in here. You sure you want to go?
I can handle myself, thank you. And you're going to need all the help you can get.
Hey, you're the boss.
Yes, I am. Follow me.
Hey, welcome to the Game Dungeon. This time we have an experience. Sabotain, a first-person shooter RPG. This is a game I never really heard about until a couple years ago, and have been curious since. So let's take a look. And we start with a dance number. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Alright! Well, I'm seeing a lot of things I like here. Some mixed feelings though. On one hand, unless it's an arcade cabinet or something, I feel like it's a little cheesy to put a trailer for your own game inside the game. I mean, you've started the game. You're already here. But on the other hand, I can tell there's some jankiness to this. Yeah, see, look at the combat. I don't know if I'm sold on that yet. Maybe the game doesn't start off well, so the developer said, no, our game is cool, we promise. See? Look at how cool it is. And while that feels a bit cheap, maybe that's what's needed for a game like this. Oh, look at that, screen tearing in the official video. Yeah, that's not me, this is the source video. Anyway, it's safe to say this game's earned some attention. Let's go. A face for radio. Huh. They give me two options for a character, but one is grayed out. I like how they explain what the stats do, or try to. There's a lot of RPGs that could learn from this. Well, I don't know how this game is going to go, but I want a character that's good at shooting. Yeah, we don't need these points in unarmed. I'll take my chances that the game isn't going to screw me hours from now with a mandatory kung fu segment. Oh, I can't allocate anything. Well, I appreciate that the game acts like it knows what's best for me, but no. Let's put more points in the guns. Okay, now I can allocate my stats. I'm not sure what I'm going to need here. Wait a minute. When I make a custom character, I get 25 stat points total. But if I use the pre-made one, I get 28. No, I'm not taking a penalty for stats where I'm not even sure of what I'm doing anyway. Start game. A cutscene. It's a spaceship pulling in? And our intrepid hero. That hair. I don't think it really works on him. I don't know why, but it makes me feel like he should be planted in the ground. You know, like those turnips with faces like you pull out of the ground in Mario 2? That's the vibe he gives me. Well, let's check out the spaceport. I guess whoa! Instant cutscene! So we're some sort of agent, and our message from the general has some grammar issues, but he wants us to blow up a food production factory. That doesn't really sound like a covert ops mission. That sounds more like straight up terrorism. Well, he says they're adding something to the food to turn people into slaves. Okay, if you say so. But let's say hi to some of the natives first.
I have an appointment and I'm late. Sorry, I can't.
What? Okay, hold on. These voices are too quiet. Alright, that should be better.
Piss off.
No, it's not. Not really. Is this one of those games where the audio settings don't actually do anything? Oh well. This game is pretty big, and it's divided into hubs that you can travel around to. Uh-oh, damn it, I've seen this before. Okay, hold on. No more super sampling for us. Yeah, this is an OpenGL game, and I've seen some games blur some textures when you force super sampling anti-aliasing on them. I'm not sure if this happens on AMD cards or if it's just NVIDIA. Yep, there we go. Multi-sampling will just have to be enough. And even on NVIDIA, my blurry memory remembers this didn't used to happen, but the change might have been 20 years ago also. Well, my first impression is pretty good. I mean, look at this. This feels like a big open sci-fi world. Remember how in Deus Ex Invisible War, they cut the size of the level since there wasn't enough memory on the Xbox to support them? Well, Sabotain came out a year later, and it does not have that problem. It does mean we're doing a lot of walking, though. Whoa! Okay, good to know. Throw yourself in front of cars to speed things up. And I rapidly feel dumb since we're supposed to head to this bar, but I can't find the entrance. I'm not seeing doors. Does this laser wall kill me? No, that's good. But, okay, is it around back? No. Is it on top? Do I have to climb the building? No. Honestly, this increases the immersion since I feel like I'm really in the future. I don't know the culture, like how to enter buildings. But seriously, where the hell is... Oh, okay. This solid metal column is a door. Got it. Well, inside we meet with the bartender who's supposed to give us information on how to blow up the food factory. But instead, his daughter has been kidnapped and he needs you to go save her. He thinks he knows where she is, but he's not badass enough to take on a whole club full of gangsters. Sounds like a job for Turnip Head. Let's check out the district where the kidnappers are. Again, nice big area. The scale of this game's levels is way above average for 2004 for a smaller studio. I'm kind of astounded here. Yeah! Yeah! Whoops, wrong part of town! Eat lead. Okay, yeah, the combat is rough. It's hard to explain, but the weapons just have a sluggishness to them. Wow, look at... Jeez, this guy is dancing. I just can't get a fix on him. This is what I expect from multiplayer. Squirrely bastard. Okay, this time I'm not gonna wait for them to see me. Bam! One shot to the head. Head, chest, head, head. Okay, so the first guy took 1 headshot. Another took 3. Also, did you see how the AI glitched out and he just froze there? Meanwhile, this guy was giving tap dancing lessons. I just don't know what I'm dealing with here. Though it's just as well they jumped me because all I had was 30 bullets. That's not enough to take on a whole gang. Yeah, a shotgun and 200 shells. Now we're talking. The pistol is not up to the task with strafe dodging like what we saw. And my health regenerates. Yeah, fine by me. Oh, and there are easy access gun kiosks. Chainsaw Octave. That looks menacing. Tesla glove. Plasma machine gun. Okay, so I can't afford anything good yet, but I get the feeling we're gonna get some serious weapons here. Once again, this world is awesome. I mean, look at this. I'm getting the vibe that this is a budget title, but they use their resources very well. They had to cut corners, but they were still able to deliver sci-fi spectacle in a large world. Yeah, look at the club I'm supposed to go to. This has a presence. The music is a little loud, though. What? Again, you guys saw the audio settings. There's only so much to tweak here. Yeah, the sound is one area this game needed more help on. I noticed in the previous zone earlier, the atmosphere sound has a break in it every few seconds on a loop. Yeah, come on guys, you can do better than that. Well, I get to negotiate with this fine gentleman. He wants more money than I have to talk to the girl, so I'm giving myself a discount. There are many, many RPGs where I wish pointing a shotgun was a dialogue option. Sabotain has a lot going for it. Well, he leads us to the back rooms, then shit gets real. This is our first real combat segment. Yeah, the combat. The best way to describe it is it's viable, but not good. I feel like I have all I need to get the job done, but it's not smooth. First off, the firing rate on the shotgun is pretty rough. The reload time is even rougher. Now that would be cool if the shotgun acted like a real shotgun. Yeah, a tank top shouldn't save you from a shotgun blast, which is the second problem in that the shotgun is kind of weak. But it's still better than the pistol. I don't even want to think about using the pistol for this situation. Anyway, I'm dying. A lot. But this feels doable. Now I am making one mistake which I'll elaborate on later, but it's not a huge one. First off, you're mobbed and they're coming at you from every angle and you can't fire quickly. That combined with the twitchy AI means I need an area with some cover where I can put my back to the wall safely. This spot is good. Not only does this give me time for reloading, but this severely limits how much they can strafe back and forth, which lets me actually land some shots. The game is also a bit cheap in that it lets the enemies shoot around corners a little bit. Now I'm noticing headshots are definitely better, but it still feels like a dice roll. Either the hitbox for heads is smaller than the game lets on, or else there's some random factor I can't sort here. But it usually helps to be aiming for the head. Body shots feel very weak. Oh, and we should get this out of the way now, and you've probably already noticed. I am struggling to maintain a steady frame rate in these fights. I think it has to do with the physics or character models. Just to give it more of a fighting chance, I went and turned off multi-sampling and just switched to downsampling and FXAA. It helped a bit, I think, but I'm not sure anything can save this. Just as an experiment, I went and changed the resolution to 640 by 480, no anti-aliasing whatsoever, and yeah, I'm still getting some frame rate dives. So I don't know what to say here. We're just gonna have some chop in this game. Sorry about that. The boss here is a bastard. He has a machine gun, which bodes well for me since you know I'm gonna loot that off him later. But he kills my ass fast. Meanwhile, the girl you need to save keeps getting in the line of fire. It seems like no matter how many good shots I get on him, it's never enough and he wastes me. See, look at that. That is a shotgun blast to the head. I die again and again to this guy, but the vibe I'm getting here is that this could actually be the hardest fight in the game for all I know. Because this is an RPG, I'm going to level up and get better guns later, so if I can survive long enough, it may just get easier and easier. It wouldn't be the first RPG I've seen do that. And for reasons unknown, this time he goes down, even though it feels like I shot him more than this earlier. Crouching Tiger, hidden shotgun. You enlarge your experience level to 1. Yeah, my machine gun now. Well, we take the girl back, which makes her father friends for life.
I'll help you anywhere I can, partner.
Help me any way you can, huh? Like help me blow up a food factory? Yeah, he knows a guy who has a map of the facility or something. Sounds like a good lead, but first, since looting dead guys earlier was so profitable, maybe we should tour more of the city first. Now, I got confused because I assumed everyone with those gang tattoos was going to attack me, but no, I can even walk up and talk to some of them. How's it going?
And you are?
What about these guys? Instant threat, open fire! Yeah, I'm not spotting the pattern here. All I can figure is guys hanging around some corners means open war, but I'm not seeing any pattern beyond that. Speaking of consistency, another thing that confuses me is when I drop this guy, I get 13 experience points. Oh, so that means I get experience for taking out hostile gang members? Well, sometimes. What about this guy? Nothing. That's what I get. So sometimes enemies fire on me, and sometimes those same enemies give experience. Well, what if I just attack a random guy? Does that give experience? Okay, no, but if I kill the guy who attacks me because I attacked the other guy, that does give me experience. Well, I think I'll try to stay off Santa's naughty list by not attacking every random person in the city to get more experience, even though the game seems to be partially incentivizing me to do that. Plus, they're staying light on their feet. Look at this. I think there's some algorithm or whatever direction I'm approaching them with my crosshair, they'll start strafing the other way as soon as I do that. Well, that means we just need to funnel them into some alleys. Man, look at them pile up. I'm gonna be able to sell off a lot of their guns. Wow, the sun has gone down. I'm taking out so many gang members. Well, I guess I'll head back to the main mission and... Whoa! What's going on? This looks like some sort of battle. Did I trigger an event by killing too many gang members? Like maybe this is supposed to happen late in the game where it makes sense, but instead it's happening now? This is wild. It's like gang members versus military bots. Okay, I don't want to break the game. I'll just load an older save and continue the main mission. On to the dirty Cancers district. We're heading to the dirty apartments, past the dirty airshed. And now night's fallen here, which means everyone is going crazy again. There aren't as many gang members here, so it's mostly a bunch of bums trying to stab each other. Is this a bug? It feels too put together to be one. So night comes and everyone goes crazy trying to kill each other. This is lunacy. A lot of questions here. I guess most of all, is there a reason for this? Like, is this a plot point we're learning firsthand and it gets explained later? Also, I'm just assuming it's because it's night. Maybe the rest of the game is like this, and the first hour was just to get our bearings. I don't know, I'm confused. Oh man, a spider bot. I don't want to have to fight spider bots this size. If you're gonna fight spider bots, just go all the way. Yeah, like that. Well, I make it to my contact, so I guess it's just everyone outside who's crazy. And here the game does something I've rarely seen before, never on this scale. It was doing this earlier too, but I'm really seeing it now. You know how Bethesda games are notorious for just zooming the camera in 0 degrees when talking to someone? I always thought this was awkward and just never felt good to me. Well, Sabotain does something else. It rotates the camera around him slowly, but it also moves when he moves, back and forth. Ugh. Seriously, playing full screen, this started making me slightly motion sick. Especially if you're reading the text. No thank you. Well, this guy wants a favor for a favor, of course, and that's going to be a common pattern. Now, despite having this big open world, the missions are linear, where they tell you where to go next one at a time, and usually involves returning back to the person who gave you the mission. It feels GTA-ish, but trimmed down. Though I'm not sure having a bunch of side missions would benefit anything, actually. While having things to do in a game is nice, I've found it's difficult for big open world games to have good story pacing when there's 100 side things to do. Even among big budget games. I'm not sure what the answer is, though things felt like they flowed well in Gothic. Maybe the answer is you have to create invisible incentives to steer things to the right place, which is far easier said than done. Well, our mission takes us to the red light district, and if anything, it's more violent than the slums. This is so weird because the traffic behaves normally. I occasionally see people who aren't crazy. This guy looks like he's trying to pick up a girl. He isn't drawing his pistol on me or anything. But by and large, it's like this, everywhere. You know, this does take place on another planet. I saw a show before where in part of it, the characters come to another planet, and this colony is deserted. Then a storm comes and whoop-de-doo, everybody's trying to kill each other. Well, in the show, it was because of some plant releasing a pollen causing this. I don't know what this game's excuse is. Like, honestly, I think this might be the most violent video game city I've seen, except for maybe Quarantine. Chemo City is just as violent as this, except if anything, the density feels higher here. They're competitive. I mean, there are lots of violent sci-fi cities like Night City or Mega City 1, but even those just have flare-ups. It's not like this on every block, every district, all night, every night. But the trick is to just keep moving. See, the game has given me all the tools I need to deal with this. I have a brisk walking pace, regenerating health, and the entire city isn't trying to kill me specifically. It's trying to kill anyone. I'm just one target among dozens. So if I just walk along and occasionally use a health pack, this is playable. It's weird, I don't get any of this, but it's not stopping me. And indoors, everyone is completely normal. They have conversations, nobody tries to knife you. You'd almost forget what's happening outside. This game intensely does what it wants. From here, remember, our goal is to blow up the food factory. And I can appreciate if it's not as simple as going from A to B, but this game feels a lot higher than average for the number of errands we need to run before we get to that. In fact, I decided to track it since it just kept going. Okay, we already had to see the bartender, rescue his daughter, go back to the bartender, see the ex-factory worker, and before he'll help you, he wants you to ruin his former boss's marriage by bringing his wife evidence of him cheating. See, his boss fired him because he used to give leftover food to the poor instead of dumping it in the trash. And yes, that's a thing that can happen in real food businesses too. So we have to go to the brothel to get information on how to blackmail him, but the hooker says in order to get information on him, we need VIP membership. And to get that legitimately, I don't even know how we do that. Instead, she says to see this adult store to instead get a hack pass. So we go there, the clerk takes us to the back room to see the hacker who sells us the pass, then we go back to the brothel to get the clientele info, then back to the ex-worker, who gives us the info, but then gives us an optional mission to deliver the info to his boss's wife. Yeah, why not? So we deliver it to her, come back to the guy again, now he talks about the plant. The part I found notable was the food manufacturing plant has DRM. Yeah, so without this chip, nobody can make food and it's super expensive to replace. Yeah, I could see companies doing this if they could. So it sounds to me like I could be crippling the food supply for the entire colony here if I do this. Yeah, that's totally not something a terrorist would do. Whatever, I'm just following orders. So now I'm ready to blow up the plant, right? No, I need to go back to the bartender again. Why? I need to gain access to the mainframe. What? Why do I need access to a mainframe? Nobody said anything about this until it just popped up in my objectives. So, yeah, I need access to the mainframe because I'm a hacker now? I don't know.
To get access to that computer, you have to be a member of the Mercenary Guild.
Oh, so now I need to join the Mercenary Guild. but they won't accept just anybody, and the boss there needs me to do a job for her to get in. Well, technically this might not be true, but the alternative is to pay her a bunch of money, and I'm poor, and the only way I have of earning money is selling guns from looted bodies. There's probably an exploit to this, but so far, from everything I've seen, I would have to kill, loot, and sell the gear off of hundreds of gang members to raise that much cash. Maybe 1,000. 1,000 is a safe estimate. So we're doing the job, and she wants us to kill this prisoner being transferred from Techno Prison. She sent some mercenaries to help me, and they have terrible pathfinding. They get caught on most corners despite having all this open area. So we kill the prisoner and a bunch of cops, then report back to the leader. Now we're in the mercenary guild and can do the job, right? Nope. Now we have to access the mainframe. Still no explanation why we need a mainframe computer, but apparently it's so we can plan the demolition job. I mean, I could have done that on a piece of paper, but maybe something was lost in the translation. Now she says we need to talk to our coworkers to plan the job. They're down for it, but since the protection around this chip is so good, we need a special explosive to do it. And one of the mercs only knows one guy to get it from who's military. So now we need to go visit him. And good news, it's day again and everyone stopped trying to kill me. Yeah, look, people now just walk in the street, going about their business like an actual society, and not murdering the first person they see. Hello.
You're asking the wrong person, pal.
Well, enough of that. We see the contact, he turns on us, so we murder him and take the explosives. So now we can finally blow up the plant. Just kidding. Now we go back to the hacker that sold us the fake ID to get another ID for the factory, then meet up with the mercenaries, then yes, now we can finally go in and blow up the food factory. Okay, so I counted 18 steps before we get to this point. This is a bit much. See, it's not the number of steps, but it's the framing of all of this. I mean, first off, reporting back to the same place over and over again sucks. But moreover, these are all tasks that put off actually getting to blow up the factory. Whereas, say, blowing up the factory was step 2, then step 3 was that causes a riot. Then step 4 was I use the chaos of the riot to infiltrate another building and blow up a satellite relay. And step 5 was to fight my way out once they send in heavy troops to respond to the sabotage, and so on. See, that would have much more of a sense of plot progression, whereas this feels like it's just drawing things out. This style is better for a mystery, where you're investigating and following leads and don't know where they're going to take you. Anyway, this is nitpicky, but I feel like different framing could have made this more satisfying. I mean, I guess it still is a mystery to me why we're doing any of this. Some of the most important plot points are relayed to me through my objective screen with no context. Maybe this will all come together later, or maybe it won't. Okay, time to set the bomb. For 5 minutes, right?
Once we're inside the main unit, set the timer to 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Cutting it close.
Yeah, but by 5 we actually mean 1. And this was a bit of a dilemma for me, because I can get out of here in 1 minute, but doing so with my AI companions I'm pretty sure is impossible. Even if they don't get hung up on corners, which they will, they simply run too slowly. So, bye. Cutscene! Kaboom! Alright, we did it! We blew up the factory! Are we gonna get some answers now? Maybe. I'm suddenly here back in my apartment with no explanation. What do my objectives say? Okay, the quest are the sub-objectives. Apparently I'm being followed by Confederate agents. Okay. But my larger objective is rescue from Secret Services, pursued by means of search and destroy. What? Then infiltrate the Confederation Army by entering the Military Academy of Castor. Okay, so infiltrate the Military Academy. Again, why? Maybe I should look at the manual. I should have done that earlier. Yeah, here we go. Prehistory. You may want to pause this. Well, the translation is rough, but it sounds like this is a colony of the Empire that's gone independent and had some brain drain. So I'm an agent for the Empire to undermine the rebellion and bring it back in line, is how I read it. You're not often playing as the Empire in games. FTL was like that. Well, that's not much of an explanation, but that's all we're getting. And that pattern holds true. We get new objectives that kind of come out of nowhere, take 15 or so steps to accomplish them with a lot of semi-mundane stops, rinse and repeat. The only prevailing threat is that I'm an agent to undermine society here. Though honestly, seeing the streets at night, I'm not sure that even needs any help. So is this all there is? The same thing over and over? Oh no, there are surprises. Let's continue. Now at any given time, you can assume I'm just on my way to someplace else that I've been to 5 times already. Occasionally seeing new places to talk to new people, maybe eliminate some bad guys or steal information, that sort of thing. I'm getting quite tired of this walk from the bar, for example. Or this walk back from the hacker's den, that one's the worst. I don't know how many times you have to come here, maybe a dozen? This is turning into a commute. Now, you can fast travel to places you've been to, but only going there. Leaving, you have to walk all the way back to the exit. And the North Eiffel District, I love and hate this. I love the verticality and sci-fi spectacle architecture. I hate getting around here. And I hate my map. This is a 4-story district and it's all squished together here. This is not as helpful as you might think. At least it has good ads. I can't read this. And night's fallen, so everyone is crazy again except the cops. Though I've noticed the richer the district, the less crazies there are, so this one's not too bad. Damn it, this road is where I need to go. Can I just jump here? It's gonna take me 5 minutes to get here legitimately. Oh, no fall damage. Good to know. Wait, no, I can't drop anywhere I want. There's a lot of invisible walls, too. That was just dumb luck earlier. Back to the story, remember those guys following me? Yeah, the ones I never saw and I just have to take my logbook's word for it? Well, the investigation led me back to an amusement park with G-forces that look like they would kill people, but underneath it is a giant entrance to counterintelligence. So this is what? The equivalent of the CIA? Oh yeah, look, if you come back, it says it on the map, CIA. And my mission is just gun down everyone and destroy their computers. So this is a big sci-fi RPG with a mission to kill everyone in the CIA hiding below an amusement park? How did I go through life not hearing about this game? How is this not a cult classic? Now I've gotten some upgrades and I'm using the plasma machine gun and it's alright, but they're still doing that damn strafe avoidance, making me burn through some ammo. Or, you don't have to do this, but you can. If you start firing from very long ranges, it evades their AI and you can take out everyone in sight. I really don't feel bad doing this considering it's strafe city half the time. Oh, and it's not enough to just take out the hostiles. The mission says everyone. Okay, can do. Well, my main objective now is to infiltrate their forces, remember? But it looks like I can't join the military unless I'm recommended by a former arena champion. What? Well, the bartender knows one. He's a cop now, and he says he'll recommend me if I help on this drug bust tonight. No problem. But wait a minute. He means tonight at 2300 hours. And now the game gives me a clock. Well, it's not real time, but since I'm recording this, I did the math. 11 at night is about 1 hour of real time from now. And remember, this game doesn't have side missions. At least none that I've seen. So they want you to wait 1 hour before you can proceed in the game. I mean, I could just shoot gang members for an hour. It looked like there were enough of them. But if I just wanted to shoot dudes over and over with no plot or progression or anything, there are better games for that. Now, I could explore the map for an hour. It's big enough for that. But my reasoning is I'm still going to have missions after this, and then I'll have already seen everything, making them more stale. Plus, who's to say it ends here? What if they need me to wait for another mission? So in light of that, I'm just going to wait it out. Yeah, what you're watching here is me going and doing my laundry, washing the dishes, some other chores, while I left the game running for a time lapse. Yeah, a real good use of resources right here. I also realized it was an oversight of mine to do this at night, since somebody could have walked up and knifed me. But no enemies spawned. So my guess is they don't spawn enemies at night right in front of you. You have to move first. Plus, I was standing right outside the police department. That might have helped. Okay, it's been about an hour. Time to show up at the drug lab at 2300. Here we are. It's about time. There they are. That must be my reinforcement. Let's go. Well, I make short work of the lab, but guess what? That's not enough. Now I need to win an arena combat in order to get accepted to enter the military academy. I could think of better ways to frame this. Seems like you're gonna have a pretty small military if it's this hard to get in. And it is hard. It's budget Unreal Tournament and you have to be the first person to hit 10 kills. The problem is, that's not long. Since I recorded the footage, I can check. I'm not fast enough. It ranges from about 48 seconds to 1 minute for the AI to rack up that many kills. Also, you notice how you hear gunshots as soon as the round starts? Well, that's everybody else. I don't start with a weapon, so I need to find one as soon as possible. That's an extra delay. Now, I did make this harder on myself by not realizing I could swap out the weapons because they wouldn't show up in my inventory. So I just started camping the sniper rifle so I could reload it. Though reloading cost me precious seconds. In fact, there's almost no point to having the level even as big as this, because just wandering it costs you too much time. Damn it, I keep losing. I must not lose. My game needs to be tighter. I was getting a little worried I wasn't going to be able to progress past this point, and started getting apocalyptica flashbacks. But I figured out that I think the AI was spawning players right in front of each other. So they were getting fish in a barrel kills one after the other on each other. Once I was able to disrupt the chain, it became beatable. Man. So that's enough to finally enroll in the academy. Actually, no, it's not, but the other trials weren't that big a deal. Or rather, the 2 trials before entering, not the 4 trials after that. Yeah, you can see him laying it out here. He needs to test my firearm skill, my explosive skill, arms handling. Wouldn't that be covered under firearms? And mental stability. Oh, I can't wait for that one. So off to the firing range. I get to select 3 weapons of my choice. I think it's here. Yeah, through here. Well, wait, where do I pick up my weapon? Oh, is it bring your own? Wait a minute, my inventory's gone and they've stripped my character down. Pistol it is. Whatever. Okay, I shot the targets. Proceed to second gallery. Where's that? Is it through here? No? What about proceed to first gallery? What? I thought it might be the next booth over, but nothing happens. Now I'm confused. Damn it. Okay, so does that mean there's a second shooting gallery? This is kind of a big building, a lot of empty rooms. I'm just straight up lost. This is hardly the first time this has happened to me in this game, but this one really had me looking. Yeah, it's worth mentioning you get a map for all outdoor areas, usually with markers if a quest objective is near you, but nothing for indoor areas. This makes the navigation confusing, more than a few times. Yeah, in fact, I got motivated to map out the Academy building since I was looking for this damn gallery so much. Now, it's hardly perfect since I'm not a surveyor, but this is about it. And this map is really representative of the map design for many areas. Okay, so guess where the second gallery is? Remember, there are 3 floors. Do you think you know? Huh? Yeah, there is no second gallery. I just had to go into my inventory again, and then it would be automatically switched to the next weapon. Yeah, 3 weapons of my choice that we choose for you. But the larger point here is, in this sizable building, there are only 2 locations that matter here. The Colonel's office and the shooting gallery. That's it. The entire rest of this is filler. I thought this would be where I get my psychological exam, but nope. There are no other objectives, no bonuses, it's all just there. Part of me likes that, but this game has got to get its objectives sorted out if it does something like this. And spoiler, while there is a very awkward explosives test, the Colonel forgets about the other 2 tests and they never happen, and instead just starts giving me missions. I have to retrieve some intel, shake down some professors selling drugs at the university, nice hair, and oh, come back at 2200 hours, another one. What did I say? I knew this might happen again. Okay, time to raid another lab. Now this is completely doable, but my long-range trick doesn't fully work here. Because this time there are snipers that can see me at any range, pretty much. So the going is slower, but this is all easier than that first club fight. Well, we stalk some people, shoot up more labs, and report back to the Colonel. And the game's been doing this crap the whole time, but I just want to show you this plot transition. I'm not editing a thing for this part.
Good work, soldier. I have something for you.
Yes, sir?
For distinctive service and performance, giving you this model of arms. Thank you for your solid work.
Thanks.
Thanks.
You earned it.
Bam! No cutscene, no further dialogue, but my objectives have updated. Can you read that? Let's pull it up in the logbook. Kill all zombies in Lab GL and report to Boggs. This is a test program, but watch out, the damage is real. Yeah, so now we're shooting zombies. Zombies with guns. So are these actual zombies, or is that just slang for people who are burned up by future drugs? And this is a test program. So did they just round them up, hand them guns, and drop them off here? This location is still on the military base. Oh, and while we're down here, you know how Half-Life has some of the fastest ladder climbing in the business? Well, I think Sabotain gives them some competition. Voip. Anyway, this mission is kind of crap, but just bam, zombies. Things just happen in this game. Like, I was also noticing these hooded figures in the street that fade away when you get close to them. I don't know if the game intends to explain that, or if it's just there because somebody wants it. I don't know. Oh, and it turns out you do take fall damage. Ah! Oof! 40 hit points. Well, that's pretty reasonable, all things considered. Oh, the zombies landed us a cutscene.
Хочу поздравить вас с успешным завершением тренировочной программы.
Aha! Looks like the translation had some gaps. Yeah, this is a Russian game. Now, since our story so far has been so threadbare, I'm really not convinced we're missing anything vital. But just in case, I got some translation help on this. Yeah, okay. He's saying congratulations on finishing the training program, and now I'm a lieutenant. Thanks! I had to kill a lot of people to complete this training. So naturally, I need to go to a casino with the barkeep's formerly kidnapped daughter to meet a woman who knows the guy who knows a guy who knows a guy, but oh no, she won't talk to me unless I can prove I'm a player at the casino. Win a game in the Mario machine in order for Gwen to talk to you. The Mario machine? What the hell is that? Roulette? No, maybe slots? Oh, it's whatever this thing is. Oh god. Okay, first off, it starts playing the machine's music along with the game music at the same time. No thank you. I'll turn the volume down some. It's not complex, you just have to press the button when the wedge is green. It starts off easy, but then it gets ugly. See, first, it's always in the same spot, so it's just a matter of timing. But then it goes random, which I can keep up with for a while, but then it starts getting really hard. And what are these sound effects? Now, on these later stages, my first thought was, I'm just not fast enough. I was racking my brain on this. I even looked up the input lag specs for my monitor. It's about 9 milliseconds. But when this came out, CRTs were still the way to play, which have no input lag. I was starting to panic here because I need to pass this stupid minigame to progress. You can't save your game here either. If you exit, you have to start from the very beginning, which I learned the hard way. I also tried the slow motion skill, but it doesn't work here. The one place I really need it. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. We'll get to it. But why does this stupid Mario machine have to be the hardest part of the game? I didn't know what to do here. I was thinking maybe I could run this emulated somehow and slow down the clock cycles? Or maybe I could get help with a third-party script running, so when this cluster of pixels turns green, the script instantly sends out a mouse click? That might be a way past this, but that's gonna take some time to get made. But see, that's all assuming I'm too slow. And now that I'm looking at the footage, I'm not convinced that's what's going on here. Plenty of these I screwed up for sure, but others it really felt like I hit it when it was green, but it still buzzed me out. I'm annoyed there's no animation for pressing the button, since then we could look at the footage and time it 100% to see whether I'm the problem. I think this shit is rigged. I can't do this. At these upper levels, I just can't hack it. I lost a lot of fucking money on this game too. I'm going back to her. Can I just wave a gun in her face and get her to talk that way? This is unplayable. I need an alternative. Oh, everything's fine. I already won enough for her to talk to me. Damn it, the game was just toying with me. Fuck Mario and his machine. Well, you flirt with her, but it doesn't matter. The only reason to talk to her is to get in contact with her dad as part of a security protocol. You know what? Even that doesn't matter. The game's acting like it's Ocean's 11 now, but Ocean's 11 had a coherent plot. This is all just to fulfill some objective coming out of nowhere. But that leads me to her dad, and I start pretending to be a security expert. And I go on and on talking to him.
Well, I work for a security company. I research different security systems, mechanisms, and precautionary measures for corporations, and sometimes military-funded establishments. My job as a researcher is to examine these systems and, based on repetitive use, determine how some of these intense systems may be streamlined while still maintaining the high standard of encryption. If you're entering a building that uses the EM1400 series software identifier, then you have to go through a series of steps. For that particular series, the 1400, there are 6 steps before you are allowed access. See, that's where I come in. Even on the already streamlined systems, the access code can be way
This is easily the longest dialogue in the game by far. Where was this drawn-out talk for explaining why we're here? Or what the Empire and the Confederation are all about? My man talks about door panels for days, but can't even explain why he's killing people. And I hope you're ready for round 2, because right after this, we have to chat up some soldier at a satellite station, then take her out on a date. A long and very boring date. The discussion here is lamer than any date I've ever been on. And yes, it's espionage, but it all feels like it's coming out of nowhere. Well, some favors for favors later brings us to a quick mission where I either need to scare off or kill these gangsters hanging around this guy's neighborhood. I get the impression the game wants you to try and use your words, but the problem is it's night. And you guessed it, we keep getting attacked during a dialogue cutscene. A classic. I do like how he takes off running. Then everybody freezes, and as soon as I end the conversation, I die. I tried this twice. It's not possible to talk him down. At least at night, peace was never an option. Now what? Buy a truck and drive it to... Oh, fuck you, game. Fuck you. Okay, I should explain. I've been hoofing it on foot this entire time. I did check out the car lot, but they all cost a lot. The well-armored ones are like 70,000. So I've just been saving my pennies up, even though I got partially wiped by that damn Mario machine. I mean, I'd like to move faster. As great as these environments are, yeah, it wouldn't kill us to be able to drive through them. They take minutes to walk across. And this isn't GTA, you can't just jack somebody's ride. So now, when I finally scrape together a bit of cash, as a mandatory mission, they're asking me to buy a truck, then go and park it. Which means this is coming out of my pocket. I don't even get to keep the truck. I'm gifting it to someone. I'm gonna be lucky to afford even the cheapest vehicle. A move like this is gonna send me straight back to 0. Yep, 20,000. I only have 17. I don't have this kind of cash. So what now? Well, I stashed a few items back in my apartment I might sell, but maybe I can make up the difference shooting and looting gangsters. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, this takes a while and the payout is low. I need better enemies. If they were carrying plasma weapons, this would be a different story. But this is just too much grind. Screw it, I'll sell my car repair kits. I was saving them for, a car, but I can see that's never going to happen. So, may as well cash in to pass this mission. Yeah, now I get to enjoy my 3 minutes of driving before I don't have a car again. Though it kind of glitched out on me when I got to my destination, so I ended up loading a game. And now, wait, what? Where's my car? Look at the mission. It says to get a Ravenna Civil. It was there a few minutes ago. Where is it now? Did the game retroactively screw my save? Oh, that's below the belt. This is really bad. I'm going to quit and come back. Okay, it's back now. Wow. Well, at least I get a cutscene out of all this. See, there they go. Driving off with my ride. You're welcome. Oh, I forgot about the slow motion. Okay, remember how I said I made a mistake in my first fight? Well, that's not it, though it's related. In addition to gunplay, you also have some extra abilities. Healing, slow motion, and stealth. It's powered by energy, which slowly recharges also. Healing is good. It gives you an instant health boost in the middle of a fight. That's what I should have been using earlier. Slow motion and stealth are good too, or at least I'm assuming, because it doesn't matter. Check out stealth here. Bam, completely drained. How generous. Now you can upgrade your stats to make it longer, but the thing is, those stats compete against a bigger health pool, regeneration speed, and just gun damage. I'd rather just have those other stats. Hell, if you make your health pool big enough, nothing really matters anyway. So I've only been using the default health boost when I think of it, but if you want it to be really stealthy or slow, I guess you could. But it's hard decision time. I enter yet another lab to shoot up, then bam! Do you care who will win the war? Not really, but we need to choose to turn to the Confederacy or stay with the Empire. Huh. Well, whatever you do, don't press escape like me to save your game, since that makes the entire level empty and results in breaking the game, I think. So you should save before you know you need to save. And I think I'm gonna go with Empire. Hear me out. They're the ones who sent me here in the first place, and since I've been here, I've killed a bunch of cops, killed a military officer, shot up a CIA branch, and blown up a food factory which may have caused the colony to starve later. This is a bad time to switch sides. I have no friends here. Nobody has my back if I were to turn. I'm in the Confederate Army on false credentials as it is. Okay, sure, the barman's friends with me, but he doesn't even ask about my politics. So he won't care either way, I don't think. See, most people need a reason to go turncoat. I think that's the ultimate factor here. And while I know nothing about the Empire, I've seen what the Confederation looks like at night. I mean, this is a failed state by any definition. Or at least at night it is. Whatever the Empire is doing, it's hard to imagine it being worse than this. I mean, what's worse than your city looking like this? A plague? Nuclear attack? Yeah, that's about it. Empire it is. Well, there are many, many missions, but some stand out more than others. For example, one is I have to clear out yet another lab located on the military base, not too far from the zombie lab, actually. And this one happens to be full of kamikaze bombers. Yeah, there's no explanation on this either. It's just dudes running at you and blowing up. You know how it goes. Well, I try to be on guard, but man, they find ways to get me. I admit, this is one of the few times either stealth or slow motion would be quite useful. But I haven't been developing those. I feel like the game is getting revenge on me for shooting guys outside of its targeting range earlier. Oh, you want to be cheap in how you play our game? Okay, we can be cheap. Fire away, shooter! Aw, did he get you? Too slow! Damn it! Oh, come on! I'm gonna be dreaming about this. This goes on a while. Just guys running out from behind boxes and exploding. Video games. At least I picked up some stat-boosting tattoos from the endeavor. That actually makes me wonder what game did this first. I mean, this predates Far Cry 3. Now, except for the kamikazes, I've leveled up so much now, the combat is largely a joke. I'm feeling near invincible in almost any encounter. And once again, I'll take too easy over too hard any day. Now, another mission that stood out to me involves targeting a fuel company, which I think may be my favorite writing in the game. First, the hacker needs me to get him the source code to the stock market. I'm not sure it works like that, but okay, let's do it. So I head to the stock exchange and do an almost painful impersonation saying I'm a developer and that the stock market code is old and outdated. But I'll fix it for him for a price. I then haggle with him and he agrees to bring me the source code to the stock market to a bar after work. Yeah, sure. Off to the bar, and I really like this exchange. You bring the money? Show me the discs first.
Show me the discs first. Do you have them with you?
I sure do, but there is a complication.
A complication? What kind of complication?
The complicated kind?
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, the complicated kind. So I loot his body, which has keys to his apartment to check for clues, except I can't figure out how to get in. I do appreciate how the game puts a big sign saying Hell Rider's apartment, but I just can't get in here. I tried loading an earlier save and doing it all over again, waiting until the day. This is bad. I was able to enter a nearby apartment, March's apartment. That worked, but that's not where I need to be. So then I went into the game file seeing if I could just swap out March's apartment for Hell Rider's. That actually did work, but it didn't help me progress. The item I needed wasn't there and I couldn't even exit the building. This sucks so much. But what I ended up doing was firing up a Windows XP virtual machine, brought over my save, ran the game completely unpatched, then bam, that worked. I was too lazy to see if it was Windows 10 or the patches that broke it. Though to my credit, I was already running in XP compatibility mode. I hate this kind of suspense in games. But back to the writing. I come back with the source code to the stock market, then tell the hacker I want to be the sole proprietor of Cosmos Fuel. To put this in perspective, that would be like if I told the hacker I wish to be the sole proprietor of ExxonMobil. So hop to it. I like how the hacker says he can do that, but I'm going to get busted if I do this. He says I can crash some computers where they process the stocks to make it look like an accident, but that will only buy me time. Once the authorities get involved, I'm going to prison if I do this. I love how outlandish this is, and I don't even know why I'm doing it, except my orders say so. So let's do it! He'll change me as the owner of the company. Now it's off to ExxonMobil headquarters to crash their computers. Computers crashed. I'm the boss now.
I'm Mr. Gaston, and these are my attorneys.
How's it going?
Like shit, but it'll be going much better once we prosecute your fraudulent ass.
Excuse me?
Like hell. You just hacked into the market system and changed the names of the ownership documents of the largest fuel supplier in the Confederacy. That's computer fraud, forgery, not to mention a host of other international crimes.
That's bullshit. The company's acquired legally.
And I'm Santa Claus. You stay right there. I'm calling the authorities and they'll be here in 2 minutes.
Uh-oh. Ah! I like how his lawyers draw on me too. Well, I guess the CEO or whoever that was is dead. So now I have orders to go to the plant and dump all the fuel into the ocean. Let's do it! Shockingly, the on-site manager is reluctant to do this, despite me telling him I'm the new owner. I can't imagine why. I offer him $200 to make it go down easier. That works, and he says go ahead. Then I spend the next 5 minutes trying to figure out how to release the fuel. But the only place I haven't gone is inside this room, and it's blocked by security. The game won't let me open the door. Well, what if I shoot the guards then? I'm seeing no other option. Yep, there it is. Now we're dumping all fuel into the ocean. Mission accomplished. Yeah, I'm helping. But wait a minute. My only option was to shoot up these guards to get past them. So why did I need to steal the source code to the stock market, hack the company and transfer ownership, gun down the board, and bribe the manager? Oh wait, I didn't. Except that the game said I did. Why? Patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake. Wait, no. What am I saying? They're playing two-handed rock, paper, scissors. Never mind. Well, that was my favorite for writing, but another noteworthy part is we actually make contact with the local rebels and assist them in breaking people out and planning sabotage missions to undermine the current government. The part that gets me, though, is I have to broadcast doctored evidence against the current leader to question his legitimacy and steal some parts from a TV station to do so. But as soon as I do that, I get a new meter on my HUD. What's this mean? Hey, a lot more people are trying to kill me than usual, even though I left the mission area. Oh no, is this a wanted meter? Yep, I shoot more cops, it goes up. Now there are plasma space ninjas all over me. If your wanted level gets even higher, then you get soldiers with rocket launchers. But they're giving this to me now? When I'm God knows how many hours into the game? I've been shooting cops left and right and nobody cares. But because I stole parts from a TV station, now I'm public enemy number 1. They'll spawn anywhere, too. I'll wait it out in the hotel. Ah! Amiga is back. Well, after heading to bodyguard school and shooting up the place like so many other buildings, I check back in again and the questline makes me panic. Again. The hacker gives me some choices. I can either pay him 1,000 credits for some code I need, or he'll trade me for a mnemonic player, whatever that is. And I already picked that up earlier at bodyguard school. Then he offers me some espionage virus for 2,000 credits. Sure, why not? I've got plenty of money for everything except a car. Done. Except, wait a minute. My objectives still haven't updated. It's acting like I never talked to him. Oh my god, did I break the quest line by picking up the player early? Maybe. You never know with this game. Okay, fine. This time, I'll shoot up the place, leave the player, then talk to him, then go back, get the player. Now we're good, right? Wrong. He still won't accept it. I'm getting sick of this crap. Here, just take the money. I'll gladly pay my way out of a broken quest line. Nope, still doesn't work. Jesus. Okay, well, let's just skip the virus then. I'm getting desperate. Oh, you can't skip it. Instead, he gives you another quest to pay it off. He wants me to steal somebody's car and drive it into the ocean. Fine. Anything to get out of limbo here. Oh, it was all a ruse. There is no extra mission. It automatically resolved. So that was the bug. I had to refuse to pay him, promise to do another mission instead to complete the previous mission, except there was no other mission. I kind of hate this crap. I hate games that keep me in suspense as to whether it's even possible to complete them. Let's talk about the music. The short version is at first, I kind of like most of it. But after hearing the same tracks 50 times going back and forth to the same damn locations, most are wearing thin. But a few still hold up. So it does the job, but the playtime is incredibly uneven. Also, one track keeps making me do a double take because I'm thinking it's Checkmate by Cypress Hill, because they use that track a bunch in Kingpin, but no, it's a little different. I will say, I think there's a 0% chance no one on the development team played Kingpin and was influenced by it. Well, the Monday missions seem to never end. These rebels just don't seem to know what to do with themselves. So when wait a minute. Go to night? Go to day? Are you kidding me? Oh! I could have been doing this the whole time? Oh, but does that work on those mandatory waiting segments? It does! I did all that for nothing! Well, I don't know what to say other than I should have read the manual more. It still doesn't explain why everyone goes crazy at night, but now you never have to see it. You can tell who the locals are by who walks on the sidewalk and who walks on the railing. Well, I think we're getting close to the end. We just have to lower the planetary shield so the Empire can start bombarding the city from orbit and get off planet so we're not vaporized. Of course, it's not that simple, since almost no ships are leaving the planet except for key military. Gee, I can't imagine why. Maybe it's because fuel is in high demand lately. I like how it's completely optional to warn the bartender to get out of town and warn the hacker to stay underground. The hacker doesn't even ask why, and it highly implies he was never going to go above ground anytime soon anyway. Well, walking into the military control base is no big deal. Blat blat. And then it tells me I'm supposed to commandeer a spaceship, but it doesn't tell me which one. So am I supposed to guess? Too much of the game is like this. And I'm being attacked. Man, this guy's taking a lot of hits. Oh, I beat the game. Huh. Well, we leave. Hot news in English. And the translation just says the Empire's back in charge, all hail the Emperor, bam, kick to the main menu. Kinda lame. I wanted a cinematic of the fleet bombarding the planet. So that's Sabotain. It's a flawed game, but the scope is so much bigger than I would have thought possible for a small studio. It's easily above average compared to other Russian games I've played. But I know what you're thinking. What if we never join the Empire and just switch sides for no reason? Well, let's find out. There's actually a lot more here. Not just a choose door 2 for ending number 2. It takes me to districts I had no reason to go to throughout the entire rest of the campaign. You can beat the game and never see this, and it's huge. I don't know why the trees are glowing, but I don't really need to. Also, I counted 4 new music tracks. Man. The plot takes a twist where it turns out those disappearing people weren't just in my head. They're called the Voodoo People. And they have this gigantic lair underneath the amusement park. You have to fight yourself before entering. Man, I've seen that in a lot of games. And oh! It's the texture rainbows! Okay, you guys don't understand. I used to see this subtle rainbow effect on some textures sometimes in old games on old hardware. It's subtle, but you see how this part is slightly more reddish? This part's a little more green? You see a very subtle rainbow effect in areas with bright lighting especially. The thing is, I'm not sure if it was always there, or if it emerged from hardware upgrades, or what. And until now, I never had a way of explaining this well so people wouldn't just think I'm crazy, but bam, here it is! YouTube better not screw up the color on this. I'm pretty sure this effect isn't the original texture, it's something that happens in processing or rendering. Feel free to explain what's going on here. I've wondered about this forever. Man, now I have evidence of this on video. This is cathartic. Well, the voodoo people aren't exactly people and may not even practice voodoo. They're just the aliens native to this planet that kinda got pushed to the side. The reason the Confederacy is so hellbent on making contact is because they have teleportation technology. So they want that to teleport straight to the Emperor's palace and take him out. Yeah, that's a fairly solid strategy. Well, he says, whatever, go run some errands for us in the alien sewers. And it's a big wandering hallway mess of a map. So I got inspired here and decided to map out this one also to show what the other half of these maps are like. That was a mistake. It ended up taking me hours and I had to redo it twice trying to align it from the footage. But here it is. Yeah, this totally didn't make me question what I'm doing with my life. What a web. There's too much to cover, but I have to point a few more things out. One mission is the purest form of logic this game uses all over the place. I have to plant a bug at a bar that picks up conversations from 50 yards away, but I can't be seen, otherwise the targets will get spooked. I hate stealth segments, but I don't have a choice here either. Okay, so those guys up there are who I need to spy on, and I've entered the bar. This looks closer than 50 yards to me. So, mission accomplished, right? Nope. Okay, I guess I'll get closer. Right underneath them. That should work, right? Nope. Okay, what if I walk up the ramp and get a bit Oh, instant death. Same for the other ramp. Oh, I get it. Now I finally need to use my stealth ability, right? I mean, it's damn short, but maybe I can... No! Instant death! I didn't even run out of energy! So stealth does not work. For the one mission, you need stealth. So how do I do this? What if I walk on the railing like a bunch of shooters let you do in an immersion-breaking way? Yes! I evaded the ramp of death! So now, do I just plant it here? No, still nothing. Oh, how about if I just walk right fucking next to them? Ding, ding, ding! That's it! Oh, and it's worth mentioning, both these characters know what I look like and are suspicious of me. Yes, this is how we do stealth in Sabotain. The logic for this mission extends to many, many others. But I guess I wasn't stealthy enough, since I get kidnapped by the rebels not long after. Turns out they wanted to kill me just to be safe, but Miss Sometimes Lazy Eye has a crush on me and wanted me to be spared. And oh! We get a second split story choice! So there are 3 story paths! The ambition of this game! Well, if you join the rebels, you have to run the most errands by far. Not only do you run regular errands for people, but as part of their errands, you have to do sub-errands for others looping back to them. This path is absolutely the worst for this sort of thing. And the game keeps me on my toes. I was worried I was going to run into a game-stopping bug again. I didn't, but I got really lost on this part. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, it's a lot more the same, but I did like how even though you join the rebels, you still radio back to general grinders of the Empire. And he's surprisingly cool about you going native, since the plan is still to overthrow the Confederate regime. It ends with me conducting an assault on the White House. Yeah, it's a little hard to see. It's kind of like the Jefferson Memorial on a giant platform up in the sky. Inside, it's pretty swank, but of course that leads us to an ugly bunker with lots of elite soldiers. Again, I'm so overpowered by now, I'm not even breaking a sweat here. We capture the leader, and bam! Ending cutscene saying the rebels are in charge, and we'll have democracy soon, pinky promise. And that's it. And of course, the final path is just staying the course with the Confederacy. This one is probably the most interesting of the 3, but mostly because the Empire never delivered on showing me the bombing. First, I'm simply let go by the woman who has a crush on me, so I report back to the colonel and he says, good work. Now go back there and kill everyone. So yeah, this is mandatory. Leave no one breathing. That's pretty fucking cold doing it to the woman who likes you and is the only reason you got to leave. Boo! I don't like that, but orders are orders, I guess. Another highlight is you volunteer to get genetic surgery to infiltrate the other rebels, even though everyone keeps warning you how dangerous this is. So now I look like another person. And I got so confused by this, where I'm supposed to meet a rebel contact at the bank, but instead all security opens fire on me, or maybe everyone. I try to run, then bam, I'm in prison. It happened just as you saw it. I didn't edit a thing for that transition. We of course escape from prison and have the surgery undone, cowards. And we too go to the White House. But as friends. See? There's the leader pinning the medal on me, telling us what a great guy we are. That's me, a hardened killer, and not a middle schooler who just won the spelling bee. But the best part is we keep pressuring the voodoo people to help us, and they're initially not buying it, saying the Confederation has done more harm to our people, life, and homeland than anything the Empire could or would do. And we say nuh-uh, so he says fine, just kill this big alien creature for us then. Can do! Boss fight! Oh, and look, it's a giant robot spider! I had no idea this was coming earlier, I swear. Actually, it's more like an armored xenomorph with more legs or something. Whatever, I'm overpowered as usual. So we get the teleporter, even though he gave it to us hours earlier, and also said it's not the technology, it's just a genetic trait of their race, even though this box does it. I'm confused. Teleport to the Emperor's palace, take out his guards, kidnap him, and blow up the building because we can. Then, yeah, that's it. I have to assume this is the best ending because this is the only one with fireworks. And that is Sabotain. This game both met and defied a lot of my expectations. The jankiness got pretty bad and there were a lot of problems, but there was nothing fundamentally wrong with the design. There wasn't anything here that wouldn't have been solved by a bigger budget and more playtesting. It kept surprising me this game even exists. Normally you have a bigger studio going all in on something like this, or a smaller studio with a much less ambitious project. But this is a big world, big RPG, loads of quests, branching story, and there's not much beyond that. But there's so much on the surface. As awkward as it was, there was some serious resource management to make a game like this happen. I skipped over some things too. Like how there's this annoying lag time for almost all doors to open. Or those snipers in that one lab never reappeared anywhere else I saw. One soldier accompanies you for one mission, but then never leaves for like the next 5. And it becomes annoying because I keep bumping into her. I tried to lose her in the elevator. Oh no, she's blocking the door! Aha! Made it! Damn it, there she is again. I never collected enough money to afford a good car on any story path. Oh, and March's apartment? Remember, the one I spoofed? I never needed to go in there for any reason whatsoever. It's just there. There's so much here that's just there. Awards! The Nighttime is the Wrong Time, Worst Mario Game Ever, and CIA approved. Now you may be confused since we shot up the CIA, but that was the enemy's intelligence. Despite the sci-fi setting, this game made me feel like a CIA agent more than any other I've played. I mean, I haven't played a lot of spies, but I've played Alpha Protocol. That counts for something, right? I just did so much to undermine this regime. I sabotaged the population's food supply, brought about a transportation crisis, and committed environmental terrorism. I fabricated evidence against the regime, extorted people to broadcast it, aided and funded rebels of the current regime, completely used and manipulated people who cared about me and put their trust in me, outright betrayed and killed one of them. Half the words coming out of my mouth were lies. I convinced the indigenous people to work against their own interest and give up valuable resources to further our agenda. I bribed guards, killed cops, staged a prison break of public enemies, and to top it all off, called in an orbital strike on the entire city while I got the hell out of Dodge. Wow! Just about the only thing I didn't do was work with cartels to bring illegal drugs in to ruin communities. And according to the general, that might be because the current regime already beat us to it. There's a certain unspoken callousness to it also. I sometimes killed civilians by accident and there were never any consequences to it. They were just collateral damage. The vibe I got was, you're here to bring down society, people are just props, keep your eyes on the prize. This game has no shortage of flaws, but it's practically a recruitment pitch for the CIA. As for the game itself, I've beaten it and I still don't know how I feel about it. It almost lets me like it. It's kind of a poor man's Cyberpunk 2077, except a decade and a half before the fact. It feels anachronistic. It's an anomaly, but man, it's such a fleshed out one. That's the episode. Stay tuned for the follow-up episode. The Demons of the Past return once again. See ya!
Who the hell are you?
This isn't a bad dream, motherfucker.
What's all this about?
That new cryptography standard? It gets passed, I come back here.
What?